Yo, guys, what is going on? Lucky Cheese 7 is back again to give you guys a live stream discussion slash review on One Piece Chapter 1090. Think about that for a second here. We are 10 chapters away from reaching the big 1100. We are like 10 chapters away. And thinking about that in retrospect, it's like, whoa, we're like 10 chapters away from 1100. But for those of you that have read the chapter, y'all already know that after this chapter, One Piece is going to be on break again. So, and I know I've already seen a little bit of a conversation going of like, well, I'm like, what are we? Are we like in a bi-weekly phase now with One Piece where like we get a chapter, we take a break, we get a chapter, take a break? And here's the thing: the first chapter since its return, that was an Oda break. The break we had for 1089 was a Shonen Jump break. So this particular break that we're getting right now, I want to say, now I could be totally off on this, but from what I'm getting at, I think this particular break has to be for the upcoming One Piece show. I think that to me that's what it sounds like. But you never know. I mean, it could just be an Oda break too. It could, but I don't want to harp so much on that. I want to really like just dive right into what this chapter has to offer. And 1090, I mean, shit. Well, let's just start from the beginning. So the chapter title is called Admiral Kizaru for obvious reasons. And it's interesting. Like I'm currently doing a reread of One Piece uh right now, like since July, and currently like I'm like in the middle of volume 5. So like I'm at the part where Luffy and the crew, like Luffy, Nami, and Zoro, like they're taking on like Captain Kuro's crew. So it's actually kind of hilarious that I'm actually seeing that right now. Like just this part. Chapter cover request: Captain Kuro is reading a book peacefully with the black cats from PN Tomica. Interesting. Now, chapter 1090. So can we like immediately continue off from where we left off? Like you have Luffy going like, "Hello, I'm Monkey D. Luffy. I'm the man who will become the king of the pirates." And people in the back are like, "Wait, hey, Luffy, what are you doing?" And he's still going on like, "We are in alliance with Dr. Vegapunk. If you care about York's safety, then withdraw your fleet from the shore." And you have York going like, "What? Please, just save me." Then you get like Kizaru's reaction, like the hell is going on here? You have the reactions of Navy soldiers, like those bastards. How low can they sink? They really are as evil as the rumors say. And then Morgan's. I think the whole situation with Morgan's is probably my favorite bit from this page because yeah, Morgan's going like, "What's this I'm hearing? What's going on over there?" Wobble's like freaking the hell out, and then you have Vivi, which it's always great to see Vivi, but you have her like holding her hands, like, "Oh, like wait, Luffy, huh?" It's it's actually kind of adorable to see too, but again, like it does make me wonder how far Morgan's like Vivi and the crew and Wobble are from Egghead. I mean, we know they're like flying towards it, but like, are they close? It's my question. Because it does make me wonder still. Like the fact that we're getting Vivi again, like right now, when the last time we saw her was, what was it, like 1080? 1084? Around the, like 6 chapters ago. Something just tells me that, like, she's gonna pop up again, like here, like soon, like in front of the crew. I just get that sinking suspicion that that's what we're gonna get. But moving over, you have the Goro say, "Your Straw Hat Luffy, correct? Who is alive with you in the Labo phase right now? If you count the injured ones, then our number is." And they're like, "Don't say anything, Luffy, huh?" Which it's coming from Nico Robin, and the Gorosei recognizes that. He's like, "Wait, a woman's voice. Is that Nico Robin?" And like the thing I also love about this is that you see Nami's reaction, and Nami's like, "Oh, brother," like she knows full well what Luffy is capable of in the system. Like she knows exactly what's about to go down. And it kind of reminds me a little bit of, say, like when they got to Little Garden. Like, do y'all remember like how excited Luffy was? And she was like, "I can't say anything. He's too hyped up." Like, I forget the exact line per se, but I know it was something along those lines. And again, it's not the same reaction per se, but at this point, like she knows, like this is Luffy. Like, I'm not gonna argue back with them. Like I know this is where they're gonna go. But I do give Robin, you know, pointers on this. Like, essentially, we're trying to talk Luffy. Like, hey, like talking with them will only give them information. They will not learn. They will. They must not easily learn about us. Just kind of giving him like that motherly advice, if you will. And he's like, "Yeah, my bad. You're right. But we'll make them withdraw. But will that make them withdraw from the fleet?" And Usopp going like hell that will happen. Don't underestimate the Marines. And then again, you got Saint J Garcia over here. Beep beep beep. We have to protect three kings. First, the physical safety of York. Second, the punk records, which constitute Vegapunk's brain. And finally, the power plant needed to produce the mother flame. Everything else can be lost except for those. And then Doberman's there, but Sir Lucci and his squad are still there, along with the other Cyberfall agents. And Saturn's just like, "I'm just considering the worst possible scenario. It's important that we prioritize the most important factors to us." "Understood, sir. Humans are no different from insects. Even if their numbers reduce, they'll just multiply again." And then you still have York going like, "You heard all of that, right? I made a deal with the five Elder Stars. If you hurt me in any way, they will exterminate's one thing. Eradicate this island from existence, just like they did to O'Hara," which again, going back to Robin here, is very reminiscent of that. And Nami just has no fucks to give about this. Like, she's looking at this and she beats York like, "Oh, that hurts. You'll pay for that. The five elders will hear about this." And Nami's like, "Go ahead and complain. We don't care." And you have Zoro like, "Hey, wait, calm down, Nami." Which Robin's there looking over. She's smiling. "Hey, calm down, Nami. She's unharmed." Yeah, Robin, or no, well, yeah, Robin, you have a Chopper. "Are your wounds feeling better now, Robin?" Which, by the way, that does clear up something. Because I did say in the last chapter of like, maybe when it comes down to Robin, maybe like Oda forgot to like include her in like the chapter itself. And I know there were like the other bits of the conversation going like, "Well, is she okay or is she like gone? What's going on with Robin?" There was like a huge commotion on like what happened with Robin. And my big thing was, okay, I think Robin is for the most part there. I just think she's like probably like right behind where everyone's at. And it turns out that's the case. Which When the volume does come out, I'm gonna be actually curious seeing if Oda does like correct this and put Robin in. You know. Anyway, you have this, and Robin thinks Chopper like, yes, thanks to you. Don't think that'll make me happy, you bastard. Vegapunk's there. You have some Cypherpole agents. Even I was facing two of the Seraphim. I'm still ashamed of myself. And Lucci's like, I know how you feel. Forget about it and get some rest. Wow. Shaka, Pytharos, and Edison. And, you have Edison that's still there. Yeah, one of the other Vegapunks too. Stussy's there. And for the state of Vegapunk satellites, four are heavily injured. And two are dead. And as for the Straw Hat crew, what are you whispering over there, Lucci? It's nothing. Just talking to myself. Then you have Usopp. Hey, to ever oh wow. To everyone down below, is everything all right over there? Laboratory, underground, basement. You have I love this over here too. Like you have like some of the agents like cheering like, yeah, Straw Hat Crew, and one of them like, don't call them out. They're still our enemies. Thank you for the food. We owe you our again, if there's one thing I love about One Piece, like even when it comes to time skip, is like the comedy was never left abandoned, and that's what I really really dig about One Piece is that when it comes to like its comedic phase, like Oda's like stuck true to that, like far and through not, through and through. We're now saved thanks to you. Get us out of here. No, we can't do that. Then at least move us somewhere else because these creatures close to us is giving us the creeps. Hmm? And again, speaking of the Seraphim, we have them here too. Aren't the Seraphim your allies? Well, yes, but if they got out of control again, can you assure their safety, Vegapunk? And Vegapunk's like, of course, because those bubbles are made from the same bubble shield used in the Pacifista Mark III. Of course, you see the Jinbei Seraphim. Those bubbles aren't even bomb blast resistant. It's me. It's um. Why am I blanking on this? It's made with the same properties of sea prism stone. How dare they look at us? I'm pretty sure that's Flamingo's Seraphim. And then of course we see uh it is not a good day for me right now as far as like remembering names go. But Hancock, you have a Hancock Seraphim too. Uh, which makes them effective weapons against devil fruit users. And then of course you see Kuma's Seraphim. That's amazing. Those were just regular soap bubbles. And you have Snake saying, you don't have to worry about us since we don't receive any orders to eliminate you. You're none of you're of no concern to us. And again, they're like, okay, then that's a relief. Even so, we're grateful to you, Snake. And again, you have that's Frankie talking, by the way. Frankie's like, thank you for undoing the petrification on us. And Vegapunk's like, that's strange. I don't remember programming her to act like that. Which you get this flashback, this like really, really brief flashback to a Luffy going over a snake, and he's like, Hancock, these are my comrades. You have to undo your powers on them. Please, you're the only one that can save them. And again, it's one of those things of like, well, yeah, they're clones, but even though they're clones, some of them do kind of retain the personalities from the original. So, in that aspect, I guess you could say Snake has, well, the hotness for Luffy, if you will. Like, the same infatuation that the original Hancock has, which I think is kind of hysterical, honestly. And I know a lot of people have been using this as like, yo, the Luhan agenda is still on. Now, for me personally, I just think it's funny. I just think this is just pretty funny. Whether or not this is insinuating on Luffy X Hancock. I mean, let's be fair. It's a gag. It is a gag that Oda has kind of insinuated on with Hancock. So I think it's just funny that he's incorporating that onto the clone of Hancock. Also, I mean, let's again. Let's just keep this into perspective. Luffy rejected her marriage proposal like twice, so keep that in mind. He rejected her twice on the marriage proposal, so there's that. But moving forward, you have Snake going like, "Okay, I'll undo it. So please stop staring at my eyes directly." And again, Jinbei is laughing at this. He's like, "She's the perfect copy of Hancock. She looks down on everyone else except Luffy." It's funny to know that the Seraphim are based on her has the same emotions towards Luffy. And Vegapunk's like, "Yes, very interesting. These emotions are considered to be one of the pieces of information transferred through the lineage factor during the cloning process." Again, that kind of goes back to what I said. It's not like, yeah, they're clones, but they retain some of the same things that the original had. And of course, you have Luffy going like, "Thank you again, Hancock," which causes Snake to blush. Like, "Hey, did you just say that you love me?" Again, very reminiscent of like whenever Luffy and Hancock like interact. And she's like, "Oh, he confessed," which obviously he didn't. You know, you have one of the Vegapunks there, Stella. Uh, although although the comm system is working again, I still can't open the Frontier Dome. And Vegapunk's the original Vegapunk's like, uh, "We can't escape here if we can't disable the barrier." And York's like, "It's useless. I locked everything down with a password. And here's another bad news for you. You don't share that info with your brains, and I don't plan on telling it either." Which, of course, you have Stussy going over. "You're getting to my No, you're starting to get on my nerves. That password and the world government are the two armors that protect me. I'm starting to get hungry." Why you? Actually, is it Stussy or is it Bonnie? Maybe Bonnie actually. Let's see. "We're surrounded from every side, Stella. The fleet comprises 100 ships and nearly 30,000 Marines on board. Yes, we have a dire situation on our hands." And then, of course, you have Sanji, like, having, like, the googly eyes for obvious reasons. "Here you go." Okay, so that's Stussy. So then the other one's probably somebody else. "Do you want a cup of coffee?" And again, I love how Nami's, like, just minding her own business. She's not even, like, focused on Sanji. She's like, "Yeah, okay." So there goes the Suna agenda, too, on that front. And Vegapunk's like, "You said your name was Nami, right? You're the navigator of the crew, correct?" "Yes." And interestingly enough, you see like Luffy is like grabbing like some kind of food, which again, very much in Luffy's nature. "The log post is not pointing to a new destination yet, but I think we can still follow the other directions it recorded in Wano. One of them is and again, this is the key note here. One of them is pointing north. What? That's the northwest, northeast from here." And Vegapunk again, Vegapunk lays this out in full detail, which I am not gonna lie. The second I saw him say this, I was like, "Dude, it's about to be real. It's about to be real." Give me one second, guys. Give me one quick second. Got a phone call on my hand, so it'll be quick. Give me like 10 seconds. All right, that took a little longer than 10 seconds, but we're still going strong on the stream. So the thing is, Vegapunk says, "Yes, that's where Elbath is." And as soon as I heard that, I'm like, "We are about to hit the motherland, the land in which many of us have been looking forward to since it was mentioned in Little Garden." It's actually funny because you see Luffy and Usopp react. They're like, "Elbath, we're finally going there? We've been dreaming of going there since the Island of the Giants." Yeah, exactly. Ever since Little Garden, like it's been like one of the most hyped up places to go to. Which I think it's funny. You have Usopp and Luffy doing the victory dance, like Elbath, Elbath, it's good, it's surely to be big, and the people there too. And again, you got Stussy like looking over at um Lucci, going like, "Would you stop staring at me?" Vegapunk again kind of explains everything else. Luckily for us, your ship is already on the lavo face stratum. But since the island is surrounded completely by a marine blockade, it's impossible for us to escape from the coast. And then, of course, you see the diagram of the northeast. We have to go northeast to the other side of the island. Fortunately, the Vega Force One is already stationed next to your ship. I hope it will carry us through all the marine blockade, but it can only fly with the airfield of Egghead. It'll fall down as soon as it leaves the airfield range of the island. And Frankie just tells them like, "Hey, no problem at all. The Sunny can take over just before it completely leaves the airfield range. No one can. No one will be able to chase us after we fly 1 kilometer away." And Vegapunk gets super excited, like, "Wait, my word, that ship can fly a straight full kilometer? Very well, let's go with that plan. Powered by it's powered by cola. Cola?" Which again, you have Punk 2 going like, "That's a very well thought out plan, but we need to disable the Frontier Dome first before we can escape." Again, it's the first method of escape, which York's like, "You'll never get the password from me. In that case, we'll just have to hack it. Do not underestimate the great Vegapunk." And you see like them like getting to work. "Lilith, I leave you the command of the Vega I said Vega Force One to you." And like you see them like running off. "Let's move the ship to the other side of the lava phase. We need to hurry the bear. We need to hurry. The barrier might open any time now." You're right. Though disabling it will allow us to escape, but that would mean we will be vulnerable to enemy fire. Exactly. And again, you seeing Stussy there. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I have never left this island before. And Frankie's like, "Hey, well, we're not going for a picnic, you know." And Luffy's like, "I'll definitely miss the food here," which Bonnie says, "Same here. We won't get any more of it tomorrow. So let's bring some more pizza." And Luffy's like, "We have cheese on the ship, so don't worry. Sanji will make some for us, or Sanji can make yeah, there we go. Can make some for us." And Bonnie's like, "I see. What a great man, skilled at cooking and at the same time strong in battle." Luffy, "Hey, why did you get in a good mood all of a sudden? It's so weird." "I'll admit, I feel better now that I gave up on killing Vegapunk." "Good. We won't be annoyed by your crying anymore like last night." And she's like, I wasn't crying." Which, again, you have the ships. Rob Lucci has made contact. "We now know what's happening inside. Relay this info to everyone at once." And then again, same Jay Garcia. "You heard that. Borsalino." Borsalino. Basically, he's talking to Kizaru. "Straw Hat was talking arrogantly to deceive us in believing that he has control over the whole situation, but it doesn't change the fact that they're still cornered like rats. The Frontier Dome is a defense system that utilizes lasers, am I right? Can't you go through it since you're a light human? And again, Kizaru just says that might be possible, but the one Vegapunk stationed to guard the dome is a friend of mine. And Saturn just says, "Well, you just need to ignore him." I can't ignore a man who's determined to fight for his duty. Doing that will go against my ideals. Again, goes already showing a bit of a rift between, you know, like a bit of a rift in terms of like ideology ideol ideological viewpoints here between Kizaru and Saturn. Furthermore, if we start our assault now, Centaur will surely order the Mega Beast weapons and the 50 pacifistas under his command to sink our fleet. The casualties would be enormous. That's the thing. So Centaur's still there, and if Kizaru like hits the field, then you know it's pretty much game over. Like I know a lot of people were thinking like, okay, if Kizaru's there, there's no way the Straw Hats are gonna escape. But here's the thing: Centaur's there, and she has like the sea beast weapons. So if anything, in my opinion, that could be the perfect distraction that the Straw Hats need to like escape off the island. You know? But of course, the first things that needs to be done is like getting the barrier down. That's the important thing. The situation's getting more and more complicated. And what about the power plant? Do we know its location? And Kizaru just lays out the map like saying, Rob Lucci is quite the shrewd and cunning fellow. He already said all the info we needed. And you have the Marines, battle stations, battle stations, battle stations. Uh, the Rokoshiki, 6 powers. Tell the Rokoshiki users to be on standby. Our assault will begin soon. See some of the other admirals too. Free all CP0 agents from those pirates. Yeah, yes, ma'am. Tonal bombardment units. Remember that bomb blast attacks don't work on the pacifistas. Aim for the Mega Sea Beast weapons. Yeah, yes, sir. Yeah, I love these Sky Island grounds, is what Luffy's saying. And look how close they are to the ship. Like, they are, like, super, super close. I get what you mean, but don't forget our goal here. We arrived at the Sunny. And again, Kizaru, like, just swoops in. Like, Yato no Kagami. Sacred Yata Mirror. Whew. And, like, you see what's about to happen. Let's go at it then. Ojiki, which Ojiki literally means uncle, but it's a Japanese word that mostly refers to a family's, father or boss. So this is a, like really about the line. Again, if you're asking me about the perfect distraction, this is it. Like this honestly is it. All pacifistic units. Beep, Kuma, obliterate all enemies. Prepare yourself, Sentamaru. My defense is the toughest in the world. So, what's being dreamt as the siege of Egghead is this. This is essentially the siege at Egghead Island. Much like how you had Punk Hazard, the incident between Akainu and Aokiji. That's essentially kind of what this is, which is like, whoa. Which, again, you have them going like, wait, what's that? There's a light coming from below. And Luffy's like, hey, someone very strong is coming. Which, well, we know, obviously, that's gonna be alluding to Kizaru. Well, we know this given how the chapter ends. And to say the least, it's pure perfection. Look, let me make no mistake about this. It's a pure perfection chapter from start to finish. And again, like it's gonna be really, really interesting to see what happens. Like I don't believe that the Straw Hats are gonna get away with next chapter. I am not believing that for sure. Again, I'm thinking maybe we still got like 4 or 5, like 8 chapters at the most. Because I do think we're gonna see something regarding the. Because here's the thing, there is the end result of Egghead, and then there's gonna be the aftermath of Egghead, which I think the aftermath of Egghead's gonna take up a little bit of time. Like, I think we are gonna see a little bit of a scuffle between Kizaru and Sentomaru. I think we're gonna get that. I don't know if it's gonna be the entirety of the next chapter. Maybe I'll say this. It could probably take up like 2/3 of the chapter. And then the last third focuses on the Straw Hats. Could be. Or if Oda really wants to go out there, maybe we have again a little bit more focus on Vivi and getting something there. Who knows? But let's see. Like really, we just have to like just wait and see what Oda has planned. But again, Egghead has been, in my opinion, like one of the best arcs in the post time skip. And I mean, here's the thing: it's not like the other arcs were bad. Like I very much did enjoy Fishman Island. I enjoyed Punk Hazard. I really dug, Dressrosa, despite its faults. Whole Cake Island, for the most part, I will say. Actually, no, not Whole Cake. Zoe was great. Whole Cake Island was just amazing. And Wano, like I thought was amazing too, but Wano clearly does have a bit of fault in its pacing for sure. But Egghead, I will say from start to finish so far, we have been on a roll. We have been like on a huge, massive roll with Egghead. And I again cannot wait to see what Oda has in store for us for chapter 1091. Keep in mind, guys, again, we are 10 chapters away from 1100, and the build up to 1100 is gonna be nuts for sure. Let's see here. Got a few comments here. Let's see. Unfortunately, I cannot read Japanese, so this is something I'm gonna have to like actually like respond back to after the stream. Let's see here. Face red droopy eyes, happy profanity. Usopp is an Elbaf fanboy. I know, that's the thing, like, it reminds me very much of how a lot of us were kind of envisioning this whole thing. Like, the second Elbaf was dropped, it was like, okay, like, we know that's gonna be a destination we're gonna go to. And the big theory was that after Egghead, not even Egghead, but, like, after Wano, that Elbaf was gonna be, like, the next set course destination we were gonna go to. It just happened to turn out that Egghead was, our like initial stopping point before Elbaf. So the fact that we're gonna get Elbaf next, like, yo, Elbaf is gonna be such an insane like arc. Like I can already just imagine like what will happen. And the thing I want everyone to keep in mind with is that like I'm excited for Elbaf, but remember we had a huge build up for Wano too, and the last thing I think we all need is to like set our expectations like super super far high to a point where we get kind of let down in the end and cause like this huge controversy that Wano caused. So like I always say this, like it's good to be excited for what's going to be coming forward, but we do need to like keep our expectations in check too. Like, all right, let's just see what Oda has to offer. And then when the arc concludes, we can make a full scale, like, general thoughts on how things have been. And again, so far Egghead has been proven, but we just gotta see. Let's see here. Straw Hat Luffy will meet Prince Loki, and maybe he'll be an ally of the Straw Hats, which Big Mom was successful with. Yeah, I could see that too. I think that's another possibility that could happen is that we could see, you know, Prince Loki become an ally with the Straw Hats. I think that's a possibility for sure. Which again, it would be nuts to see too. The buildup will be nuts, and also would Kid be around? See, here's the thing. Kid got bested by Shanks. So, I mean, if we're here's the if Kid were to ever get a redemption, maybe Elbaf could be the case, maybe. But I'll say this: if Whole Cake Island was the year of Sanji, and Wano, in my opinion, should have been the year of Zoro. In my opinion, that should have been Zoro's year. But I will say that Elbaf should be the year of Usopp. In my opinion, given how much Usopp has been looking forward to Elbaf, that should be his arc. Elbaf should be that. So we gotta see. Like we honestly just gotta see. Oda always cooks when he builds up to the climax of that arc. Yes, we should be keeping our expectations up. Exactly. We should. And unfortunately, guys, like this is where I'm gonna have to call off the stream because there is a couple things I gotta take care of on my end of things, especially since I've got like a big game I gotta catch here in like an hour. So I will leave it off with that for now when it comes to this, One Piece live stream discussion. It was a lot of fun. Like it's always been, especially like just interacting with you guys. For as long I think this has been the longest live stream discussion I've spent on, just the chapter. The initial unofficial translations. Now, just because of that, it's not going to be the only time I talk about chapter 1090 because when the official translation drops, obviously I'm gonna still come back here and do the post live stream discussion slash analysis, and that is gonna be something I am gonna have a lot of fun diving into because again we're gonna be looking at the translation we got from from OP scans, and then look at the official translation from Viz and see like, all right, which one has the better translation, which one's more clear, which one has the better pronunciation. Like all that stuff is fun. All that stuff is going to be fun for me to do, and also it'll give me a little bit more insight as to like what I didn't necessarily cover here versus say what I'll cover in the post live stream discussion. But again, that's going to probably be when, not this Sunday, obviously, but when next Sunday hits, because that's going to be when the chapter officially comes out. But again, don't worry, because in between, this discussion and the post live stream discussion, and I know I've been building this up for a while, but there is a Luffy discussion video that I have been working on in the background. I actually just finished up like my notes on what needs to be done with that discussion video. So throughout this week, I'm going to be like working on that video, and hopefully by say Friday or Saturday of next week, I'll have it up. But with that being said, you guys, that's pretty much all I have to say when it comes to this live stream discussion slash review. Let me know what you guys thoughts were on the chapter. What was your favorite part about it? Did you guys have any gripes with the chapter? How do y'all guys think we're gonna, or like, how much time do you guys think we're gonna spend on us being stuck on Egghead, like for us to like escape? And how long do you guys think this is a confrontation between Kizaru and Sentomaru is gonna be? And like I said before, this chapter is simply pure perfection. And with that said, you guys, that's pretty much it. I'm Lucky Cheese 7. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more One Piece content. And I will catch you guys in the post live stream discussion. Peace.